And recording. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legacy of the Lost, Episode 1, A New Beginning. Last time, we unfortunately have lost a player, and because of that, we will be starting from Episode 1 again, in order to make sure that everyone is able to be caught up and good on everything that's happened. However, we are starting where we did leave off, and so just for a little bit of backtracking, our players have managed to come together after a certain incident at a circus, causing a large chain of events, leading to our players diving down into the depths of the city. Diving down to the depths of the city, trying to find the location of some crystals, which the players have yet to learn about. They have recently had dealings with a very dangerous man named Angel. But aside from that, let's introduce our players. Let's start with you, Kasaira.
Hello, my name's Kat, and I'll be playing Kasaira the Tiefling Fighter. So, a bit about Kasaira. She is a copper-colored tiefling with freckles and feline-like markings sprinkling over her athletic figure. And she would have a very sharp brown gaze, with dark russet hair and horns that curve away from herself. And upon looking at her face, a piercing can be seen punctured into her right eyebrow. Kasaira hails from a kingdom far from Everstone, her armor signifying that she is a warrior.
Alpheus, how about you?
Howdy, I'm Alpheus. I'm the dwarven artificer of the group. I have red hair, green eyes that are said to have been blessed by the dwarven god Moradin to one of his families before, so that's a trait he gets from it. And I got a gun, plain and simple. Gotta love artificer.
Andre?
Hello, I'm Andrima. I'm playing Andre, the Tiefling Sorcerer. She's not quite your average Tiefling, as her body is covered with a bunch of burn marks of sorts as they fill from her head to her tail, and she has a scar on her right eye that goes down. And while she has this magic source that burns within her, there is this gem that is tied around her necklace that she holds very dear to her and holds close as if it is the one protecting her.
And finally, Aquin.
Hello, I'm Gil. I'm playing Aquin, the Dragonborn Druid. Aquin is a light blue finned Dragonborn with iridescent scales that shine partly blue, partly purple. They have shining yellow-orange eyes, and a sort of long baggy clothing, and a necklace around their neck with several pearls and a large black pearl in the center.
Okay. So now that we've introduced all of our characters, you all find yourselves outside of a guild, in which door has an angel wing with on top of it a halo. You guys find yourself out here, some of you a bit angrier, some of you a bit sadder. What do you guys do?
Upon exiting the establishment, there would be an intense hostility within Kasaira's gaze as she's escorted out by the party members with the somewhat just drowsy tiefling in her arms. And she just kind of her tone is sour as she just kind of spews out, "If she wasn't in my arms, I would have plummeted that man."
If you would have done that, we would have probably had the whole guild on us by now.
It's good
Yeah.
that it's good that you held yourself back, because I don't think if we had taken up a fight with him, we would make it out alive. I think it's best to try to relax. Maybe I can recall if there's a tavern nearby that's the safest, and we can rest a bit and figure out. We'll have this person, and she's gonna look at the tiefling, that's wrapped around Kasaira, or holding onto Kasaira at this moment, and just try to think whether or not there even is a safe place down here for them to rest.
Yeah, okay. And even then, she still just looks angry, but she has this like understanding look within her eyes as Andre is speaking, and her fingers kind of like loosen around the tiefling.
Hey DM,
Yes.
quick question. Would Andre know of any like safe taverns or place that they could rest of, even though this is like a really dangerous city to be in? Would she know of anything relatively safe?
You
Aside
don't.
from
Safe
like,
is a
her
big
backstory?
word, but you do know a
Yeah.
couple places which are better than most.
Okay. I know of a couple places that we could try to rest up. Obviously, we'll still have to be high alert, but maybe we could just relax for a little moment before we continue on.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
And with that, Andre's going to start like leading the rest of the group.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Andre is just going to start like leading the rest of the group to a safe, like relatively safe tavern in which they have to still be alert.
You're aware of one where robberies and murders are less common, just in general. But that's just because of the atmosphere there. It's a gambling hall with
Oh.
rooms, if you'd like to go there.
I think, yeah, at this point, yes, just to get out of this environment.
As you lead your friends through the different alleyways and streets, you see numerous people. A lot of them dodgy, scary creatures. Some of them look really, really bad. As in, like, they are just fugly. As slowly in front of you is a building called the Lucky Mutt.
This is the safest thing that we will get here, I believe, as murders and petty thefts isn't really as common, ironically.
Do you enter?
Kasaira looks suspicious and kind of uneasy, but she'll kind of just have this like wordless acknowledgement within her expression.
Andre is going to head on in, but like being with one in front of everyone else. Quick question, is Gil with us in this time or no?
Gil manages to catch up with you guys as you were leaving the Angel Guild.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
As you walk into this building, immediately loud noises fill your ears as you see many, many people in front of you guys, all playing an assortment of different games, and you see a lot of money trading hands. As you guys step into the front door, you see as a waitress gracefully walks over and holds out 4 wine glasses filled with a yellowish substance and says, "For you?"
Andre is going to take it and she's just gonna hold it into her hand and be like, "Excuse me, can we rent out a room?"
Yes. For 4, I'm guessing?
Yes.
A room for 4 or for 4 individual rooms?
Just one room for 4.
Okay, that will be 25 gold.
She's gonna look at the rest of the group for that.
Aquin just kind of looks at Andre like, hey, can you give me a cue? Can you give me a signal? Like, anticipatory?
What do you mean by that? It would be a little more descriptive for me personally. For
Aquin just kind of kind of looks at Andre and is like raised their eyebrows and looks very expectant and looks very very prone to taking action at the moment, but is waiting for some kind of cue as they glance over to the person and glance back to Andre.
It's like, do you want to split it 4 ways each? So like 5 gold each?
Aquin nods.
Yep, I can do that.
We'd be short 5 gold.
Didn't the waitress say 20? Or am I
25.
wrong?
She said 25.
25? Okay, I'll handle the additional aspect. And Andre is gonna like hold her hand out to the rest of the group so like they can pay up.
DM, just a quick check. How much would a regular ink cost in the surface?
Like 10 silver.
I'm gonna look toward. Do you think we should pay this? I mean, it's quite expensive. Up in the surface, we might as well walk up there. It's 10 silver.
Well, it is
One
the only
gold.
room we have with 4 available beds.
She listening in on this?
Yes, I imagine you guys are just talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we could take turns sleeping. It's like, can we get a room with 2 beds, by chance?
Sure. That's going to be, let's go with, 10 gold.
I'll tell you. I'd prefer that one.
Andre is just going to pay up to 10 gold for the rest of the party, as she just kind of wants to get this over with, rather than going back and forth.
You see as the waitress, or as the woman kind of guides you guys along as she holds out the tray to you guys as well. A drink, any of you?
My hands are full. She's just gonna gesture to the tiefling in her arms.
Or would you like me to deliver this up to your room with you?
I'm alright, thank you.
How about you two? She
I'll be sure to
gestures-
come down later and get my own.
Okay, and you?
Aquin again seems a little reserved and confused and stares very intently at Andre.
Andre is going to kind of give her head a shake, as if like indicating, "Don't take it," even though Andre took it.
No thank you.
Well, if you'd like any, there are plenty available. Have a pleasant night. Also, please join us for the festivities later. The famous animal racing is going on soon. As she walks away.
Wonder what animals they'll be racing.
Probably none that are good. She's going to say, knowing the environment down here and how animal cruelty is a thing.
Guess we start heading up to the room.
Did she already take us to the room? I don't remember that.
She led you guys towards the stairs, and she did tell you
Okay.
where your room was, as well as gave you guys each a key.
Right, I guess we just go into the room.
Yeah, as you guys make your way up the stairs, you guys are actually pretty close to the top. As you open the door, it's a pretty spacious room. It has 2 beds. Think of like a modern day hotel, minus like all the amenities, and a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm. Upon entering the room, Andre's going to check every nook and cranny of this room for safety, for anything that might be suspicious or anything at all.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Alright, give me a second so I can look at my character sheet to see what her investigation.
Room looks pretty clear.
And I go up and ask her, "Hey, what are you looking for exactly?"
I'm just trying to see if there's anywhere that people could either break in, sneak in, or any sort of thing really that might be suspicious to the eye. This city is not the safest, as you can tell, and so it's better to be cautious than not. But to me, it looks relatively fine. I mean, you can have a go and check around, but I think it's fine. And Andre's going to plop down at the nearest bed, like a little, like sitting down, as she
Can I do
takes a
my-
deep breath.
Can I do my own check?
Sure, if you'd like. Roll
Alright.
investigation.
Alright. That is a 10.
You don't find a whole lot. I mean, well, actually, you do find something. Hidden behind the bed is a dagger with a little bit of blood on it.
Ooh, okay, we're just gonna put that back down in there. And yeah, I'll just keep that to myself.
Let's hope it's not fresh blood.
That's
Well,
pretty
yeah.
old blood.
Okay.
At least a couple months.
Oof.
Andre is gonna like. She's still holding the wine glass. What was it? What alcohol was it that
You have
she was?
no idea. It is a amber, like a yellowish amber liquid. There's no bubbles in it. It's just flat something.
Flat something. Can she like look at it and like smell it to see if it's potent or there might be something in it?
Sure. Roll investigation again, I guess.
Well, it's not really investigative. It's just seeing how safe it would be. I guess that's still investigation. That is 15.
Yeah, as you, go and investigate this, beverage, doesn't smell strong.
That's it.
That's all you got from it.
Okay, Andre is going to like sigh and takes a little bit of a drink of it.
Roll me a
Knowing you
con
are
save.
taller. Ooh. While she does that, I'll just be like, knowing you and your tolerance with alcohol, are you sure it's the best idea to be drinking that? Especially
And she
here.
says, drinking.
Yeah, she's just
Um,
mid sip.
That is a 10.
Okay.
Terrible, but not great.
Yeah, as you take a sip, you kind of, for a moment, you kind of see some fog almost coming over your eyes, but then it vanishes just as quick. It's pretty good.
She's like, oh, this is okay. But I'm probably just gonna set it down. She's gonna sit it back down on the nearby counter. It's like you're probably right. But I did better than Kasara, at least that last time. And she's gonna like nudge, like kinda laugh, like chuckling a little bit.
Oh, please. You got beginner's luck.
I don't know. Maybe someone has a better tolerance than others.
Oh, really? I'd take you up on that challenge, but I'm kind of babysitting.
Well, maybe you should put her down at one of the beds until she is able to wake up again.
You got 2 rooms, correct?
Well, I only got this one room, but
Oh,
there's 2 beds at least. I don't mind laying on the floor.
yeah. I think I'm going to rest her on the bed. I don't know if you guys want to sleep on a separate bed or if you wanted to sleep on the floor as well. Because I don't plan on sleeping on the bed.
Is there a bathtub by any chance? I'll
Uh,
sleep in the bathtub.
well, there's not a private one, but there's a public one.
He's gonna go
Oh, so
out.
it's just like a public bath?
Kind of, it's, imagine like, a hot spring, but with a lot more closed off rooms, but it's all located in one general area. And you gotta pay a little bit of
no.
money to get into it.
Oh, okay. I was asking about like in the room, anything like that.
Not in the room, unfortunately.
Oh, all right.
What about you, Gil? Do you have a preference? Or, sorry, Aquin.
Aquin is just kind of standing in the corner of the room, awkwardly, not really doing anything. They're just watching the group.
I think we're safe in here, so you don't need to tense too much.
Aquin
Maybe-
kind of just leans against the wall a little bit, and nods their head.
So, how's everybody doing after everything that has happened so far down in the city?
I mean, I'm still curious as to how you exactly knew this was down here. But aside from that, I'm doing fine.
Like I
Yeah.
said, I've been traveling a bit, so this was on my way through my travels.
I thought you were new to Everstone. When I met you there downstairs, I thought you were just completely new here.
What do you mean?
Down there, when I was in the ring.
Oh, um, I mean, I don't really stay in one place too long, so I hardly have time to remember each city that I go through. I I've just been around, really, and she's kind of say hesitantly, like more places than one, I guess. I mean, I'm not like Alpheus here who has a place he can call home. And I'm sure that you have a place you can call home, Kasara.
Kasara's face will kind of twitch into like a brief moment of guilt and almost just like a. It looks like she has this like nostalgic look on her face, but it looks bitter.
Did,
And
did
she
I
didn't
say
say
something
anything.
wrong?
No, it's just complicated. So how long have you been just aware of the Yawning Hollows?
Um, that's kind of hard to say, honestly. Um, I've been down here for about 6, maybe 7 months in total, maybe a little longer. Just doing odd job, and she's going to say this kind of like hesitantly as she's like trying to walk around something that maybe she's saying a white lie, or she's not necessarily telling the entire truth as she says. I've just been doing like odd jobs here and there, nothing too heinous. I mean, like, I enjoy jewelry, to say the least.
Wait, you enjoy jewelry or you make it?
I enjoy it. It just, I just dabble, and she's gonna like say very slightly.
Well, that makes sense, I guess. And she'll kind of like her eyes will wander down to where her necklace is. Where'd you even get that?
um, it's a gift.
Hmm. From who?
Someone who was very kind to me when other wasn't, and she was a nice woman.
Hmm. Is she around now? Could she help us?
And she's gonna like give it a little chuckle. It's like, well, she was on my travels from very long time ago when I was back as a kid, so I hardly doubt she's around. She was quite old, so who knows if she's still walking among us. I mean, I was only a kid when I met her, and that was what, about, God, 18 years ago?
Whoa.
So,
The girl starts to wake up.
Oh,
Oh, hey, are you okay? as
where
she's
am I?
waking up.
Where am I?
You're fine. You're safe. We can protect you. And she'll set her down on the bed carefully.
What, was she not already on the bed?
No, I think Sarah's still holding her.
No.
I think Kasara was about to put it down, and then she was asking everybody else if they wanted the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I?
You're safe. You're not with those bad people anymore.
Who are you?
She'll take a very deep breath. And then just slowly exhale. My name is Kasira.
I know that name. Where do I know that name?
You told me you were from Kinnaman. Or at least we puzzled it together. I'm
yeah.
from Kinnaman.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Are you also looking for the princess?
Kasara looks lost for words. It's as if her tongue is just tied into several knots. Yes.
She attempts to whisper something in your ear. Do you let her?
Yeah.
What are you doing with that unnatural born?
Kasara's brows will furrow almost like into each other, into a look of just distaste, and she'll whisper back, she's just as tiefling as we are. I don't treat her any differently. And she's whispering this back too.
Okay. Okay. Have you gotten any leads on where she is?
I think I almost had one, but I let it go. I had to. It was for my honor and for the kingdom. I was looking everywhere for a lead, but
we
couldn't find
need the
any.
princess.
I know. It's just I'm sure you know about Angel.
You see as she's attempts to get up from the bed and says, well, I need to go look. I need to keep looking. And she attempts to stand up.
You need to rest.
As she stands up, her legs aren't able to hold her at the moment, and she crumples down to the floor.
Kasira will scramble after her and pick her up by her forearms. You need to rest. I don't know how long you were caged up in that thing. The best thing to do right now is for you to catch up on some sleep and just heal. I know how important it is, believe me. It's a very dire situation, and I've been living with this need to find her for a long time. But right now, we can work together, but in order to do that, you need to rest.
Who are the rest of you? Are you also here to help?
With the princess? Andre's gonna say, like, curious, but confused as well.
Of course.
I don't know who this princess is. I'm just kind of here to be with the rest of the group as they make me feel the safest right now. So we're on a job right now.
Have none of you ever heard of the princess?
No. And Andre's gonna like shake her head. It's like, I'm not from where you are, so I wouldn't know.
She looks back to you, Kasira. Why are you with them?
It's It's a long story. With the group, we'd have better protection, and we've looked out for each other.
Okay.
They don't know really where Kinnaman is and, who resides there, what's going on there, because it's a very, very long way from Everstone.
You see as she kind of grabs her head and just says, I remember your name. Where do I remember your name?
Probably from my mother. She can make quite a ruckus
Who's your
around the
mother?
kingdom. Adalia. She does, fortune telling.
I
She's
don't-
the only one who does fortune telling there.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't her daughter, like, banished or something?
No, not from what I believe. I
Oh.
think there was just misunderstandings from a lot of points of views.
Can the whole group hear this, by the way?
Yes.
Alright. Andre is just looking at a face of confused but curiosity. At like Kasira.
I'm just sitting down eating some popcorn, listening.
Is this Lobino talking or is this
This is
Alpheus?
Alpheus. He's chilling.
I feel like Alpheus lives for the drama at this point.
Nobody.
So, if you're not the... So what happened? If you weren't banished...
I think rumors can just be a very just sensitive topic, and I think when it goes through just multiple ears, things get mistranslated. I think that might have what just happened, but yes, I'm her daughter, but it's so much more it's so much more complicated than that. And she is just kind of like pinching the bridge of her nose as this woman is just spilling out, exposing everything from her, so she's just trying to keep herself together.
Maybe you should rest right now. We can talk about this a little bit more. You need your strength, and Andre's going to say this as she stands up and like basically saying gently to the lady. I don't know her name. What was the lady's name, or did we not?
You
ask
never
that
got
yet?
it.
Yeah, Syra was gonna ask, after Andre spoke, what do you remember your name?
I think I do. I think it's Tails.
Tails?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Tails, it's nice to meet you. I hope that maybe you'll stick around and we can figure this out together. Just get some rest.
She looks over to you, Aquin, and says, Hey, you.
Huh? Me?
Yes. What are you?
Oh, I'm a dragonborn.
A dragon?
No. Well, it's said we're descended from dragons, but I don't know how true that is.
Keep in mind that Dragonborn are incredibly rare, pretty much everywhere outside of roughly the area you're from, as well as Everstone.
You don't really see us around much, I guess.
You look cool.
Oh, thank you. So do you.
How good are you at fighting?
Well, I mean, I don't like to fight, but I can defend if needed.
Oh. You see as she just immediately becomes a lot less interested.
Andre is kind of gonna roll her eyes as she is thinking about whether or not she wants to attend the like little things outside. For example, like gambling or
Let's go
or
gambling.
attending to the animal race that
Hey, you,
that
Miss
had intrigued her.
Tiefling.
Huh?
You're an unnatural born, right?
I don't see how that's any of your business.
But it's a big deal. I mean, we all know what that means, right?
I'm just gonna look at the rest of the group to see if they to gauge whether or not they know what it means.
I'll
I'm
ask
sure
her, what exactly does this mean?
She looks at you in your eyes. Have you not told them?
I haven't gotten the chance, she's gonna say.
God, you guys keep so many secrets.
And you're very brash, you know that? And she's kind of say offensively, but angrily, kind of.
You should tell them. Both of
Maybe
you
we
should
should
tell each other. Like, god damn. This is important
maybe you should
information.
just. She will try
You're
to
gonna-
beckon her head down. Tails, you should get some rest.
Okay. I'm really tired now.
Yeah.
You see as she closes her
We had
eyes
a
and
long
almost
day.
immediately falls asleep.
She will carefully take the blanket and cover her up to her shoulders and just slowly step away. Quietly. She might be woozy still from the substances.
Can you guys still hear me,
Yeah.
by the way?
Yep.
Yes.
My screen turned black, so I'm trying to figure that out really quick. But just keep going, as I cannot see anything.
I'll head downstairs and get some food for. Let's see how much food I can get for just the party and I guess the tiefling in the bed.
I'll accompany you. I need a break. I need a breather. As much as a breather as I can get.
As you two head downstairs, once again the noises fill your ears as you walk past numerous games as well as like what looks to be a relatively small animal racing ring. Looks
Ooh,
to be
Andre
about
is
the size
going-
of like dogs and stuff.
Can I see what they're racing?
Yeah.
Andre is also wanting to see what they're racing.
Yeah, as you look at just the little boards that they have, you see that they're racing that it's a multiple animal race, and they have a fox, a dog, a rat, a pig, and a badger.
Interesting.
I don't know. Can Andre look at them and have a feeling, or I don't know, roll to see which one would go faster? I guess
Would you
Which one
have
would
any idea
probably-
of this?
that's a good
Logically-
question.
Logically speaking, you would want to bet on the fox there. The most nimble.
Yeah, but we're in a undercity in which people tend to, I don't know, probably, what's that one word when you don't play fair in gambling games? Or like they rig the system, rig the game.
Cheating?
I was about to say
Yes.
cheating.
Yes, cheating.
Can I find the closest, I guess, chef or somebody handing out food? Like
Yeah.
a place to order it?
As you look around, I mean, there's a couple of places just have an assortment of different foods. A lot of them like closer to light snacks, but one of them does look like a pretty fancy restaurant.
Well, I guess I'll go up there, check the prices, check what they're serving.
Yeah, as you walk in, it looks like they're serving some pretty fancy stuff, and the prices are kind of matching it. You see, they have a number of steaks ranging from 5 silver to 15 silver. Uh, in fact, they have one which is 3 gold, which is really expensive. They have assortment of burgers and other foods. The lowest price looks to be about 4 silver, and the highest is the 3 gold.
Damn, these prices are outrageous. I think I'll try my luck outside. Maybe there's a street vendor or something.
Additionally, while you guys are walking around, another waiter walks up to you guys holding another tray of those drinks. Would you guys like some?
Oh no, thank you. I'm fine for now.
Andre's gonna take one, but she's not gonna. She's just holding it.
Okay. Have a pleasant night. You see as she starts walking over to some of the other tables, and pretty much everyone takes a drink as soon as she offers it to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you keep grabbing those, they're gonna charge us for them, right?
Like, so far they haven't yet.
Yet, I'm sure as soon as we walk out of here, they're gonna start to charge us.
We'll get to that when we need to. Andre is going to go back to look at the animals to where they're placing bets at.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna start in maybe like an hour or so.
An hour?
Yeah.
Dang, that's a lot of time into you.
I'm gonna head out and see if I can find like a bread shop or something.
Okay. In the meantime,
Was the prices not good enough? Or what was the prices? Just
Prices
saying
are
this.
too high in general.
Would you like company? It's not nice to stay alone or wander
I
alone.
mean, you look pretty excited for those horse races. If you want to, you can come, but you don't have to.
I'd rather come, she's gonna say.
Alrighty.
in the meantime, let's go back to Kasaira and Aquin. What are you guys doing?
Aquin has been keeping close to the group and doesn't seem too keen on them splitting up, so Aquin isn't sure where to go or who to follow.
Kasara will approach her and ask them, "Hey, are you alright?"
I haven't been feeling well. And they kind of look down and hold their arm.
Kasara will examine them and raise a brow. What, like, just feeling like a cold? Or a fever? Or just...
It feels scary down here. And they look away and try not to tear up.
Oh, yeah, it is. Is this kind of environment new to you?
Yeah, I grew up with a nice family in a nice town. I mean, nice enough.
If, Andre and Alpheus left the door open, she would have closed it. And is there any lock on the door, or is it literally just a handle?
There's like 3 locks.
Okay, Kasara will start to lock the door. Well, we have each other. We can protect each other. I don't think anyone's gonna come up and, harass us. And we've made it this far.
Aquin nods their head and collects themselves a little and sits down on the bed.
Have you ever been in battles such as the one we went through before?
Not with people.
People? Well, what did you fight?
Mostly monsters.
I think I know a thing or two about monsters too. And she'll sit down on the bed with her.
Aquin smiles a little and looks around. Is the girl still here with us?
Yeah, she's asleep.
She's in a separate
Uh,
bed.
Yeah, they look over at the girl and say, "Do we know their story?"
No, I don't recognize them from anywhere, honestly. I mean, I know they're from Kinnaman, but I don't know if she's like, you know, I mean, there's a bunch of us in our kingdom. It's mostly generally just tieflings. That's why they were kind of, I guess, just excited to see you.
Yeah, and they kind of look away a little shyly and a little overwhelmed.
I don't think she'll make it too big of a deal. I think she'll probably be too drowsy when she wakes up again anyway. But
The girl
you
starts
did
to toss
mention,
and turn in her bed.
does she look like, is she like getting sweaty?
Yeah,
Or is she just like, okay? Does it look like symptoms of just withdrawal, or is she like having a nightmare?
this is a nightmare.
Okay. As soon as Kasara notices this, she's gonna scoot out of the bed, and she'll place a very gentle hand on her shoulder and try to wake her up as soothingly as possible.
You see, as soon as you touch her, her hand reaches down to a phantom sword, which isn't there, as she attempts to cut at you with a sword that isn't there before waking up.
Hey, you're safe.
She turns her head to you, Aquin, as she screams and attempts to crawl away from you.
Aquin is very surprised and very worried and immediately backs away to the wall, kind of shaken and unsure of what to do.
Hey, it's okay. They won't hurt you, I won't hurt you. They're my friend.
You're the monster. And at that,
You're not
Aquin, you feel as your pearl necklace begins to get very, very cold.
Aquin hurriedly reaches for their necklace and looks around for a mirror. Do they find a mirror?
Yeah.
Does anything on the necklace change?
Not the necklace itself, but the fact that there looks to be ice traveling amongst it and touching your scales, moving amongst them even. As both of you guys notice in the air the smell of seawater.
Aquin?
Aquin looks as blue as they look green in the face.
Are you okay?
Something's happening. I don't know what's happening. And they kind of clutch their head and sit down on the bed and tremble a little.
Does Kasara notice their necklace shining or doing all this funky stuff, or no?
Yep, it's very visible.
Maybe take that off.
No, I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
It's important. I
Okay,
mean,
Aquin,
it's
you're gonna
just-
be taking 3 damage. Oh, a cold damage.
Okay.
Damn.
Me here confused.
Does Aquin like make a face at all while they're taking damage, or no?
Would
They
you?
squint a little with one eye.
Is it hurting you?
A little. I mean, it's not too dire, so don't worry about me.
Why would you wear something that hurts you?
I mean, it never has before.
He had the same necklace.
She looks intently at the girl and says, "Who?"
All of them had the same necklace. All of them were killers, were monsters. Stay away from me.
She backs away, horrified.
They all
I
had
don't know.
one gleaming pearl, the rest black.
She looks horrified. knowing what this means.
Tails, what are you talking about?
You see as her eyes start to twitch.
Aquin shakes their head vehemently, like, no, that can't be true.
Their eyes flickering up and down, left and right, every way, before their arms held by their wrists get held up as if a puppet, before they are hoisted off of the ground, and their head rests, eyes pointed towards you, Aquin.
And we're over here getting bread.
Yeah, the bread crew and then the horrifying horror crew.
Sorry, I just had to.
Aquin is at the door at this point, back to the door, still staring at this person, with an arm on the handle, ready to run when necessary, but is still standing their ground, and just says, "That's not possible."
As the girl opens her mouth, fog begins to pour out so much it quickly obscures the rest of the room.
Is she floating right now?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Kasaira, you no longer have a body, but you are able to witness this. Aquin, you still have your body.
Can Kasaira move?
No. It's almost as if you do not exist and you are a silent observer. Fog fills the room. It covers the handle of the door, it covers the windows, covers every piece of furniture. Before Aquin, you are just standing in a field of fog as it suddenly begins to thin, and you are no longer in the room you are in. You are standing there on the deck of an old boat, so very old at this point. Boards rotten, decaying from age, as you stand there. And a male voice comes from the only thing that was not obscured, the girl. But on closer inspection, a green hue, well, not a green hue, a blue hue, outlines her, of a much larger dragonborn, much larger than yourself, staring down at you, one eye covered with a black eye patch, a leg missing, replaced by a wooden peg leg, as they stare at you. So you're alive. Good. I will find you, and all of your descendants and all of your relatives. You will be mine once again. Make yourself easy to find. As the green hue vanishes and the smoke comes back together, creating an orb, which then slots itself perfectly into the middle of your necklace, shining much brighter than the rest. This one with a blue hue, and you can feel your own soul being attached to it. The girl collapses to the ground, and you are back in the room with Kasaira. Kasaira, you are once again able to move.
After feeling paralyzed momentarily, as soon as she gathers her strength and movement back, she's gonna take like a few just quick gasps of air, and she'll rush over to the collapsed tiefling and try to get her up in her arms again, and then look over to Aquin. What was that?
I didn't do anything. I swear I didn't do anything.
What? Who was that?
Aquin looks pushed to tears a bit and just shakes their head. I don't know.
And with that, I'm sorry I'm going to cut you off, but with that, we're going to move over back to the bread boys.
Quick,
Eating bread on
hell
our way
yeah.
back.
We got bread.
You guys managed to get some croissants for a pretty decent price. It only was like 3 silver for enough to feed all of you guys, which is pretty
Man, what is it
decent.
with our party and making deals with devils?
Hey,
Already true.
hey,
Not that
hey,
comment. Not that comment.
hey, hey.
Oh, this
Eh,
croissant's pretty good.
Andre was like, yeah.
He was a pretty nice
Eating
baker.
it.
Like, he seemed like a pretty decent dude for being down here. He served some pretty good shit. Some bagels, some
Gringo.
croissants, some
Did
a
he have
bunch of
like cream
bread.
cheese?
Yeah, he had a lot.
Ah, Andre definitely had cream cheese. Taking that with us.
You'll find
You guys
some
are just
interesting
sampling
people
bread.
in the weirdest places, I tell you.
Hey, I wouldn't like bash the food down here. It's like, yes, there's crime, there's murder, there's theft, there's a lot of bad things going on here, but the food over here is pretty like multicultural and overall it's pretty good.
What
We should've-
murder?
We only got bread. Andre's just like enjoying herself.
By the
They're
way,
walking back.
it was a Goliath.
Was it Goliath that
Oh.
was making the bread?
Yeah.
Huh? Go figure.
People take odd jobs.
On the way back, can I just look around? My God, Alpheus is just curious. Never having heard of this place, but never thinking it actually existed. He's just looking around everywhere, just seeing what shops, what places, whatever people are doing.
Generally, people aren't like the worst here. While there is like a lot of theft and murder going on, it's not like everywhere
It's
you
not
look.
that bad.
Yeah, it's not horrible. I mean, it's a place like any other, and people, instead of there being actual law enforcement, just people kind of enforce the law themselves. And so generally people are at least decent to each other. A lot of like, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, I don't steal from you, you don't steal from me.
Oh no, I'm not saying it's like terrible or anything, but like I'm sure I've asked you one time, like, would he have known about this? And well, not entirely, but it's just like he's heard of it, so he's
Yeah.
just curious. He never really knew that there was like an entire city down here.
Mhm.
I'll turn to Andre and ask, "Do you know what that giant crystal up there is? I've been eyeing it for a while now."
Would Andre know?
No. It's kind of just been there.
No clue. I've been here, but I've never really bothered to ask. Granted, that wasn't my main focus here anyways, so. As they're walking back, Andre's still pretty aware of their surroundings, just making sure that no one's following them or being weird.
Yeah, no one's really following you, doing anything like that.
Okay, good.
I'll ask her. So, you want to explain what that unnatural born is?
You seriously don't know? And she's gonna say,
What
kind
else?
of like,
This is me to DM.
No. Generally, only tieflings or people from Kinemon specifically will know what the difference is.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't. We don't really get a lot of tieflings around here. I'm sure I've seen like one or two before, but I've never really interacted with them.
oh, so you want to know what it means or what that entails?
I mean, sure.
Well, and she's gonna say this really hesitantly, as safe as possible, as she could say it, but basically, you know, I'm assuming your parents are dwarfs, right? You're not a halfling or half dwarf or anything like that, right?
No, full door.
So, you know, you you gain your heritage, your ethnicity, or your race by your parents, and it's pretty much that. Well, my mother, she wasn't a tiefling, and there are two ways a tiefling is made. So there's the natural and unnatural. Natural is, your parents are born tieflings, then you're born tieflings. Unnatural is more of you, someone in your family makes a deal, and there's a possibility that their child will be a tiefling in a result of that deal. And so someone in my family had made a deal, and I'm a product of that result.
And you tieflings are able to tell which is a natural born and which isn't?
Well, my skin and hair isn't what commonly is what natural tieflings are. My skin is and hair color are represented of the deals that were made from that. So if a deal was made with you could say a devil, then in contrast, your skin and hair would look very similar to that of the devil. And she's saying this very cautiously.
That's interesting to say the least.
And
Never knew that's
because
how some tieflings were born.
it is interesting, however, there's a lot of drawbacks with it as you know, devils aren't highly looked upon and should be feared. So a product of that result of someone interacting with one frightens a lot of people, and we are viewed not the best. Like, I am sure that if we encounter another tiefling, they are likely to make comments of my skin. But down here, I've had better interactions regarding it, as people look at me more pittingly, but they don't really see me too much different, at least from my experience. But yeah, she's saying this all very like hesitantly, and I know I keep saying hesitantly, but that's the best way to describe it, as she doesn't really want to scare him or make him think badly of her just because of her race and how she came to be. She also is very cautious of how she talks about the devil, as she doesn't really enjoy having those conversations.
I won't really say much, just nod along and just, I'm quite curious. And then I guess I'll just go back to looking around the town before getting back to going
Quick
back to
question.
oh, yeah.
Um, what is that crossbow you're holding?
Oh, this? You're the first one to ask me.
I mean, you kind of left us for a week, and then or a week or two, and then came back, and you had this weird, odd-looking crossbow. She's saying this curiously, but like trying to examine it. What is it in itself?
This is
Like,
what I spent the better part of that week trying to recreate. Remember the page I got from a few quest lines ago? A few quests ago. This is one of the byproducts of that page.
no. And she's gotta say curiously, like, so does it shoot arrows in itself, or
In a
do
sense, not physical arrows, but it's quite similar to how you cast magic in a sense.
well, my magic comes within, so I doubt that these arrows are coming within from you.
It's interesting to say the least. I'll explain it to you better when I learn a bit more about it myself.
You don't know what it does?
I mean, I know as much as the page has told me. As for more detailed specifics, well, that's something I've yet to learn.
Well, it's been really reliable, so I'm grateful that to have it and you part of our team.
I assume we get to the hotel by now.
Yeah,
For
you
the
guys have
lucky-
gotten to the hotel. And as you guys are making your way upstairs, I'm going to move back over to Kasira and Aquin.
Kasira will look over the tiefling woman. How is she looking right now?
She's looking bad. Looks like she's choking on something.
Is she like frothing at the mouth?
Not frothing, but she is attempting to cough and attempting to breathe and failing.
Okay. Kasara will lurch her over upwards and like kind of like gently like push her back over and try to like just kind of like firmly slapping her back and just trying to assist her coughing up whatever is lodged within her, and she'll look to Aquin for them to help. Aquin, please.
I don't want to hurt her.
You see as she starts to cough and water starts pouring out of her mouth.
Is there like any just like empty bowl around or no?
No.
Okay. Okay, fuck it, we will. Kasara is just gonna let her just cough out all this water, and she'll, her patting will kind of like slow down into like rubs to try to like ease or at least comfort her in some sort of way. And she'll look just very confused and a bit alarmed with so much happening at once in just a few beats of a moment.
The girl looks up and kind of looks around. Who are you?
You're safe. Just get some rest.
Okay. And she almost immediately just puts her head back down and falls asleep.
Kasira will look back to Aquin.
Aquin is just kind of cupping their face with their hands and looks down at their necklace and kind of caresses the new pearl, wondering what it is and murmuring to themselves, "Who are you?"
At this time,
Cyril,
you guys hear a knock on the door, and you hear Alpheus and Endre on the other side.
Hey, we're back. We got croissants. Why does it smell like seawater in here?
You guys also see a massive spot of water on the floor.
Oh. Man, they're gonna charge us a fortune for dry cleaning, aren't they?
it's fine. Aquin, do you want to take a step outside, or are you okay in here?
I have to use the restroom, and Aquin steps past the two of them and looks around for like a bathroom.
There's one at the end of the hall.
They scurry over there and close the door behind them.
Sarah wouldn't want Aquin to be alone, especially within these parts. So she'll get up and she'll look to the two of them and just say, "Keep an eye on Tails. Something happened. I'm gonna go make sure we're there okay, you know?" And she'll exit and trail after Aquin.
Okay. So let's stick with Kasira and Aquin for this. Aquin, you've just managed to make it to the bathroom. What are you doing?
They are washing their face furiously.
In front of you is a mirror. Do you look into it?
Yes.
As you do look into it, your left eye starts to get really itchy.
They squint and look away, just kind of holding their eyes, squeezing shut.
It's so itchy. There's got to be something in your eye.
They kind of pinch where their eyelid is and pull just a little tug.
God, it's itching even more. I mean,
Okay, they scratch it.
yeah, you begin to scratch your eye, and it just keeps itching. Till eventually, do you look back at the mirror?
Yeah.
Until you look in the mirror and you feel your claws touch fabric over your eye. And you look into the mirror. We will find you. You immediately fall backwards. Your eye is no longer itchy and is still there. There's no fabric covering it.
Aquan's breathing at this point has become very heavy as they look around and then down at the necklace again. Has the necklace changed?
No.
They tug gently at the new pearl that was added.
It's on there. Yeah, just on there. You do notice that the necklace is it's odd. It just feels wrong.
They kind of spin it around so that the new pearl is on the back, so they don't have to look at it.
So you attempt to spin it around. You feel as if, and you reach back. You notice that the back pearl is still freezing cold and is fused with your scales. You can no longer take the necklace off.
Oh shit.
Nor can you spin it either.
Yeah, I figured. Aquan just looks in the mirror with horror, wondering, like what's going on and how it came to this.
Kasira, you arrive at the bathroom door.
Kasira will gently, raise a fist and, knock. Aquin, is everything okay in there?
Aquan rapidly swings the door open and, grabs Kasira's hands.
Whoa, hey.
There's something very wrong. Someone's after me. I don't know where they are, or who they are, or where they're coming from, or what's going on at all.
Okay, slow down. Hey. You have us. Just, let's start from the beginning. Who are they?
I don't know.
Does that have something to do with what we both just saw and what Tails was doing?
I don't know how Tails relates to any of this, and I don't know who that figure was, or... I don't know what to do.
Okay, hey. Let's just take a minute, take some deep breaths. You'll be okay. And Kasira will dig through her bag, and she'll pluck out a little stone, and it looks as if it was, purposely ingrained to match the shape of a thumb. And it's very smoothed out, and she'll pass it over to Aquin.
Aquin knows exactly what this is and immediately starts rubbing the
Hell
smooth
yeah.
part of the stone.
Twinning them. Kasira will guide them back into the bathroom. Do you feel safer in here, or do you want to just be in the hallway?
I want to go back to see the others. Hopefully
Okay.
they're not upset with me.
No, of course not. Listen, we all have something going on. It is best if maybe we're just back as a group then. And Cassira will shut the door behind Aquin. Let's just head back.
Aquin continues to hold Cassira's hand a little bit as their muscles twitch and tense.
You'll be okay. And Cassira looks at them worriedly, completely just kind of blindsided and baffled by all of this news coming out at once. And she'll guide them back to the room and open up the door.
Andre's mid putting cream cheese on our bagel as she's like mid bite, and they look at them holding each other. Well, is it Aquin who's holding onto Cassira, or them both holding onto each other?
At this point, Cassira would have just held Aquin's hand back just for reassurance.
Like while she has the bread in her mouth, she's like, some bathroom work, you two.
Yo, Cassira's gonna make a face at Andre and shut the door behind them and begin locking the doors.
Aquin embarrassedly pulls their arm away from Cassira and just goes and sits down in the corner of the room.
Andre is going to grab one of the baguettes and like point it towards Aquin as if to offer the bread.
Aquin stares for like a solid minute, checks to make sure if their hands are wet, kind of rubs them together and breaks off the tiniest measly little piece of bread and just munches on it like a squirrel.
I'm just imagining that Squidward image with like the teeth sticking out.
So what happened with the bed being covered in water, or did the tiefling have an accident, or she's just confused?
It's Cassira will look to them, to Aquin.
It's something to do with my family. Do you remember the incident at the tarot?
You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh, crap. It has something to do with my family. I'm not sure what or where or how, but someone's after them, including me. And I guess this little tiefling was their messenger. And they just kind of scratch their chin and their eyes dart around.
Seems like we all have some sort of family problem.
Well, nothing like a little commonality to bring us together. And they chuckle nervously and look back down.
My family's perfectly fine, but
Didn't you have something with the journal?
what does that have to do with anything about my family?
Nothing.
Cassira will cross her arms. Well, I don't know how Tails would have a connection to whatever business is happening with Aquin. Because, you know, she's from Kinnaman. And I don't know how far Aquin's territory is from Kinnaman. Where are you from, Aquin?
It's quite far, actually.
How far are we talking?
Well, I guess the middle of the continent?
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, DM. Cassira's territory is a bit farther from that, right? Or no?
Farther from the middle of the
Aquin's
continent?
territory? Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would never have really crossed paths.
Yeah, I
as
was about to
much.
say. Okay. Cassira will kind of like... Her fingers will drum against her left arm as her arms are crossed. Well, I don't know, maybe it was just... Listen, and she'll look over to Alpheus and Andre. Something happened. Tails got... The best way I can put it, possessed. Something happened with the necklace, and then fog came out of Tails' mouth, and then she started floating and saying these words. I didn't really understand them. She was speaking common, but like she was just not herself.
What necklace are we talking about here exactly? Just a random necklace?
Aquin clutches their necklace tighter and looks up at Alpheus. It's like, look, and points out the very prominent change in their pearl necklace.
I don't think Alpheus would have even noticed you had a necklace, I'm gonna be honest.
You know what? That's fair.
It's like, oh, cool necklace.
Wait, did
So you can go.
Cassira will squint as Aquin kind of gestured at the necklace. Did it get tighter on you?
Aquin clutches at the edges as if to check and says, I think so.
Why does it look like it's embedded in you?
Aquin turns around to try to get like a glance at the back of their neck, knowing it's futile, but does it anyway, and just kind of shows it to the rest of the group. Is it visible? And they show the back of their neck where the pearl is attached.
Is it visible, DM?
Yes. There's even an amount of like frost coming, like that frost vapor coming off of it.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, continue.
No, you good. I was just giving a reaction.
Could I look at it really quick?
Go for it.
I'm asking Aquin.
Aquin hesitates and then nods slowly.
I go up. Can I cast Identify on the pearl?
Yeah.
The pearl necklace. Cool, I do that.
Do you use a spell slot or ritual?
Yeah, spell slot. I'll just use a spell slot.
Okay. As you quickly wind together the spell and cast it, you feel something blocking it. Before you see a blue hand reach out, close your hand, and then retreat and vanish away. You do not get any results from the spell. And you do not cast the spell either.
I'll just be like, what the fuck? What the fuck was that? Huh. That's quite the interesting item you have there. That's all I'll say.
Alpheus was the only one
Aquin-
that saw that, right?
Yes,
Sorry.
Alpheus was the only one who saw it.
Okay.
Upon hearing Alpheus's words, Aquin looks a little more terrified and starts to tremble a little more as well.
Just focus on the stone, the worry stone I gave you. Just center in on it.
They rub
Take
it,
deep breaths.
and slower and slower, they begin to calm down.
Perhaps we should rest for the day, at least.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody has been going through a lot, and I think we just need a moment to relax and maybe talk a little bit.
Right. Alpheus?
I can take first watch if y'all want.
I just wanted to ask you something.
Oh, yeah, what's up?
I remember when we went to that dungeon and you grabbed that book. What did that book have inside of it? Like anything with magic?
I believe it was a page, not a book. DM
What
can
did it-
verify. Oh, sorry. It just small blueprint as to how to build this, and then I just signal over to the blicky strapped on my back.
Yes, I noticed in battle that you wielded that mechanic I don't even know, mechanical crossbow. I haven't seen anything like that before. In my kingdom, we usually have like crossbows made of wood and such. Why is yours crafted like that?
Um, oh, I just explained this to Andrea a bit ago. Huh. It's crafted like this because it fires, well, in a sense, like a magic bolt is the best way I can describe it. Um, I'm assuming well, it took me the better part of a week to understand it as well. I've only known as much as the pages tell me. Aside from that, I don't know too much about it as to where this source comes from. I assume it's something akin to magic, as how Andre or Gil has some sort of firebolt or knife, ice knife or something.
Does your family usually are they like in this practice of yours with crafting those kind of things?
I mean, not entirely. My, as far as I know, my father, he was a bit of an inventor, but he didn't do too much with it. Just fix stuff, check check to see if they were still working. He would always dabble with some stuff, but not too much.
Hmm. So, do you like look up to him?
I mean, in a sense, yes. The only reason I'm or going on these adventures is because I'm trying to find the rest of his book. A few pages. I'm surprised as to how that mage, I assume, had some of his pages.
I see. With those crystals, did you happen to take any of them?
No, blank
Okay.
face, just no.
Kasara almost looks disappointed when she hears this answer. Okay.
Do I notice this? Like, did you
Yeah,
make a
she
disappointed
would
face?
definitely look. Yeah, she would
Did,
definitely look visibly disappointed.
did you need them for anything?
Um, kind of. It's kind of a long story, but my kingdom doesn't really have any magic users or wielders. It's pretty rare if anyone can do anything, really.
And so why would you need these crystals then?
It's it's just the properties that it can do. There's something that happened within my kingdom. There was magic and it scared everyone, including me, and it had very disastrous effects. And I noticed that with these crystals, it sucked away all the magic. And I figured maybe if I'm able to transport this crystal back to Kinnaman, it would take away all the magic, and the things that have been affecting my kingdom would be no longer.
Well, I don't have any, but if I find any more, I'll be sure to let you know.
Okay.
And with that, I guess I'll just say I'll take the first watch if the rest of y'all want to sleep.
Uh, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna go to sleep anytime soon, if I'm being honest.
Well, it's still better if you try. If not, I can just wake you up for second shift, or we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'll just take second shift. Um, and she'll glance at Andre. I'm sorry about, you know, Tails. And she'll have just a look of shame on her face.
What do you mean?
Just like the way she was talking to you. I didn't think she was gonna behave like that. excused it that she might just be still kind of like loopy with the substances or something, but
I mean, typically only people from down here or other tieflings know what an unnatural is, so it's pretty common experience, I guess, or the way that she reacts is understandable. I've had a lot of reactions like that, so it's just ignorance at this point.
yeah, but it shouldn't have to happen. And I'm sorry you had to experience it again.
It's whatever. I don't care for it too much.
Does she look like she doesn't care for it too much?
She cares,
Okay.
but she's acting like she
Yeah.
does not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine or whatever.
She
It's
doesn't
fine.
want to talk too much about her leniency or how do you say it? Linjin? How do you say it? Where you came from, basically.
Lineage.
Yes, lineages. I can say it. She doesn't really want to talk about it.
Well, I hope that when she wakes up again, that she won't mention it. And she'll just like kind of like shake her head. I mean, in Kinnaman, we do have, you know, that whole kind of thing, but it's just, I don't know. I guess it's been a long time for her specifically.
Have you encountered any?
Very few. In Kinnaman, where the majority is just straight tieflings. We have a neighboring kingdom that's human. And kind of the only reason, one of the few reasons why we speak common. We're taught it because to communicate with, we're allies with Doloros, the human kingdom.
Mhm.
It's been very kind of just, we used to be tense because we just looked down on them. We believed we were superior and everything, with humans being weak. And the only reason why at first we wanted to use common was because we wanted to insult them and they would be able to know what we said. And she'll kind of like dryly chuckle, but kind of just like wince at the thought. But now we just learned common, just, even though we don't really travel outside of Kinnaman, it's still just good to know. And we use it because we're allies now.
Huh.
But,
You don't have to worry about my feelings. I'm already used to it, so.
But you shouldn't have to be used to it. That's the issue.
Well, we live in a world where that's not going to change anytime soon. So
Well, that's why we gotta have.
It's either have backbone or don't.
Yeah, that's why you always gotta bite back,
She's gonna check on. She's like sitting on the side of the bed. Like, I'll just sit up as I sleep tonight. I need a rest to gain back my magic and feel better since I feel really worn out.
Okay. I'll just, and Kasara will go to the other corner of the room that isn't occupied and sit herself down and kind of like rest her back against the wall. And she'll kind of like attempt to loosen up her armor by the straps and cross her arms and legs to herself and do her best to fall asleep.
As you all begin to slowly drift off, Alpheus, you have first watch. Would you like to do anything during it?
I'd like to do two things. First, could I are there any windows in this room?
Yes, there are.
How many?
There's just one.
Could I where is it? Could I use magic tinkering and put one near the door and near the windows? The window.
Could you remind me what it does?
View a tiny non-magical object with magical property of your choice, and it can do like 5 feet of radius light, or record message, or a non-verbal sound.
Okay. And what would you like
would
to
I
put
be
in?
able to just like put one on the window? Just like a sound, essentially, just like an alarm of sorts if it opens.
Unfortunately, I can't do that. It will only repeat the
Oh, no, I
sound.
can't do it. What do you mean it'll only repeat the sound?
So let's just say you're to put like a wee woo. You just say that into it. You'd have to have some. There's no effect which triggers it. It's just automatically continuous.
Oh, okay, so just like it wouldn't even. Well, alrighty then. And I guess the second thing I'd like to do, could I use just detect magic to see if there's like anything in the room?
Sure.
Just like doing an investigation check, just like on the off case, like anything looks strange.
Sure. You cast detect magic. You begin to look around. You sense magic from a couple different sources. You sense it from Aquin's necklace, Endre's necklace, not Kasaira's cards, your gun, and a couple of other places, mainly just from the people themselves. Namely, you, Endre, and Aquin. And then, I mean, whatever other magical objects you specifically have.
Can I check to see if the tiefling that we brought in has anything?
Yeah. Roll investigation.
Alright. Where's my investigation? There it is. That would be a 15.
Yeah, as you search through her pockets, you actually find I mean, it's not like old, but it's not like new. It's a diary.
I open it up, I guess, and I see.
Sure.
Is it like emitting any sort of like magic?
No.
That's what I meant at first. Like, just like anything like with my eyes I could see.
There's no magic in this. It's written in Infernal, though.
Ah, blast.
If only you had 2 other tieflings who can read Infernal. If
Well,
only.
actually, hold. Give me a quick second.
He's
Please tell me I have a spell.
Let him cook.
It's already been night. I'm assuming I can do one thing, maybe. I could maybe change it.
You cannot change it until you take a long rest. Fuck you. I know what you're trying to do.
Bastard.
You don't have it.
Do I not even have it as an artificer?
No.
I'll check.
I wonder if I could even if I keep it till the morning.
Write it down. Write what you see. Write it down.
I don't even think I do.
Bard, Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard. You cannot get it.
Damn it.
Oh, sorcerer.
I know,
Yes.
but you would be able to... I'm gonna... Damn. Who? Do I wake up Kasaira? I feel like you'll be mad at me most. I guess I'll wake up Endre. Just like quietly. And then not to wake anybody else up.
Andre.
Hey,
Wait.
hey.
She's gonna grunt and she's like, what is it? And she's feeling groggy.
I need your help with something. Come outside to the hallway really quick.
Okay. And she's saying this in a whisper as she's like slowly gets up.
Guess we'll make our way to the hallway really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I know I probably shouldn't have done this, but I was checking the tieflings' pockets and whatnot to see what they had.
And you get mad at me for stealing.
When did I get mad at you for stealing?
Well, she's referring back to the bugbear incident where she started stealing from.
I wasn't stealing. You were looting at the worst time.
It's like, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that regardless. What?
You brought it up.
So rude. Shut up. What did you take from her?
I
What is it?
was I was seeing if she had anything notable just to see, like anything that might cause us harm. And the only thing I could find really was this book. The only problem is I can't read it. It's in Infernal.
Um, Give it here. Let me take a look. And she's going to, as she reads it, she's going to read it out loud to him.
So as you look at it, you read through the first couple of pages, and nothing really seems of note. Well, there's a couple things of note. I'll just list off the important things. Out to go save the princess and find her. She had gotten onto a ship and was heading towards Everstone. And the last message is talking about how they had spotted a ship in the horizon with an odd name you've never heard before. Yeah, and that the ship was coming towards them, and that everyone was getting ready to attack the ship. After that, the pages look to be wet and damaged to a degree. No other words written.
Could Andre make an investigation check to see if there's any possibility she could read anything more?
There's no more. There's just
Okay.
it's just water damaged.
Well, it seems like she has. I don't know. I can't really make anything. This has no meaning to me. I mean, I know Cyro knew about the princess, and maybe Aquin would know something about this city. It's not familiar to me, but
By the way,
yeah.
you do know what the ship's name is. However, I'm going to wait to reveal it.
Oh, okay. I do?
Yeah, it's written in the book.
Okay.
You
But
don't
like
know what
her
it means though.
character's
Sorry.
specific.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, like, I don't know what it means, or Andre does not know what it means?
Andre doesn't know. I mean, it's just a ship's name. Oh, you're gonna have to talk to Aquin for me to say what the actual name is out loud.
Okay. It's like, we can talk about this to Aquin in the morning. I'd rather not wake them.
All
But
right.
try to put this back in her pockets discreetly. I don't want this tiefling to get upset with us, as she's had a long journey already and seems very traumatized.
All right. I guess let's head back in, and I'm gonna try to just put it back.
Yeah, you put it back.
Solid.
Andre goes back to sleep.
For the rest of my time, I'm just gonna read the book on elementals, like
Okay.
translate. How many hours do I get?
You have
in
about
that?
1 day.
1 day with the book. All right.
Actually, I'll give you like a week. You need a
All
couple
right.
more.
Put that down. And I'll just week. And I'll just wait till my time, and then I'll wake up Kasira. It's like, hey, it's your shift.
Kasira's head would have been like slow, like just hung down, and then once the minute Alpheus speaks or just touches her shoulder or anything, she'll like jolt up immediately, like her eyes just sharp as soon as she wakes up, and then she'll like her muscles will relax once she realizes it's just Alpheus, and she'll be like, "Oh, yeah, sorry," and she'll slowly stand up and grab her bag.
If you're that scared, you should learn how to sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, okay. And she'll scan up and down and move aside.
And when I go to sleep, I'm just gonna be sitting upright, and I'm gonna keep my one eye open. Show you how it's done.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes later, both eyes are closed. He is fully on the
Yes.
ground sleeping.
Yeah.
He's snoring.
Would you like to do anything during your watch?
Kasara will first just survey the party, how they're looking.
They're all looking fine.
Okay. How is Tails doing?
Sleeping peacefully.
Okay. Kasara will just stand by the door and she'll have like a hand on the hilt of her sword, just like resting on it, not really like taking it out or anything. She's just resting her palm on it. And she is just kind of like still like paying attention to the door, but she's also just kind of like side glancing her bag and thinking to herself. And she'll look down at her armor and then back to her bag before shaking her head and focusing in on just her surroundings for the rest of the watch.
Nothing of note happens.
Okay.
Do you sit there until morning comes? Or I guess as close to morning
Um,
as it can get, or do you wake someone else up?
um, Kasara will, she'll go to Andre and gently tap her shoulder. Hey.
She's gonna grunt, like she doesn't like getting up, but she's like, what is it?
I can watch for the rest of the night if you wanted more sleep. I don't mind.
She's gonna rub her eyes awake as she's like sits up. It's like, it's fine. It's just Alpheus woke me up later this night as well, so I just thought it was kind of funny. Um,
Why did he
I
wake
think
you up?
he, um, he looked through Tails' journal book thing,
What?
and it was infernal, and he asked me to read it for him.
She'll narrow her eyes.
It's alright. He was doing it because he was worried that Tails might have something to use against us and wanted to be cautious for the party. He came from a place of heart,
Hmm.
but it mentioned how they went out for the princess, how they were on the sea, out on sea, and how there was this ship. I don't know what the ship's name was. Like, well, I know the ship name, but I don't know. It has no meaning to me. I doubt it would have any meaning to you as well, though. And the rest of it was really impacted by water damage, so it was unreadable.
It wasn't unreadable, it's just that there was no more in there.
Oh, well, there's no more in there. I thought you said it was unreadable, that there was so much water damage you could not read it.
No, there is water damage, but it cuts off at there as if they weren't
Oh.
able to write anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm rephrasing that to say what you just said.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Kasara doesn't look very impressed, but she'll like her narrowed eyes would have kind of weakened a little bit into like sort of like a brief glimpse of just like, oh, okay. But she's more just like still like not so impressed. Well,
Alright, does that upset you?
I mean, he should have looked through her things, and she doesn't seem to cause any harm. I don't know why he got the impression. I don't know if it's just because of what happened, but I'm not intimidated by her, and she's from Kinnaman, so I trust her.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't trust anyone really aside from this group primarily, so I can understand where he's coming from. But if you want, you should get the rest of your rest. I got pretty much a full night's sleep, so I'm fine staying up for the rest of the night.
Are you sure? I mean, he woke you up.
Huh?
Are you sure? You can sleep some more just because he woke you up. I don't mind.
I'm fine. Don't worry. It was. I went back to bed right away, anyways, so it doesn't matter too much.
Okay. Oh, before you do that, she'll dig through her bag and she'll pull out a ruby ring. The ring you gave me, where did it exactly come from?
Do you want the full truth or a, a, a delicate truth?
I mean, I just thought it was like kind of like a friendship bracelet type of thing, just, smaller form. Cute, But you were just kind of shied away from it. I don't know. Is it that bad? I mean, it can't possibly be that bad.
I mean, it's not that itself. It's just it is a nice ring, but
Yeah, it almost matches your necklace.
yeah, I got it because I thought it looked really nice, but I I have a tendency to enjoy jewelry, and sometimes on my travels I didn't have enough, so and I didn't have enough money for the finer things. I kind of just allowed my nimble fingers to take it. Just gonna say
Ah.
this very hesitantly, but very cautiously. But that doesn't change the fact that I thought it was beautiful and I thought it was nice, and I thought, we could be matching some sort. And I mean, you're my friend, so I would like to give something to you as my friend.
Wow, so this ring's got a history.
I
You got
mean,
away with it.
I get away with a lot of things in my
Uh-huh.
past, but we're not here to talk about it. You need to get your rest.
Okay. Well, thank you anyway, again, for the ring. And
Of
she'll
course.
pop it back in her bag.
Of course, you don't need to worry about it.
Hmm.
Just if any woman, man comes looking back for a ring, just say you got it at a pawn shop.
Wait, hold up. Was this ring like some kind of... Where did this ring come from? Was it like a really bougie store? Or
Well,
just specifically a ring store?
I mean, it didn't really come from a store.
Did you slip it off a woman's finger?
That's a little. No. I mean, there was a event, and I was passing by, and it doesn't matter. You need to
Did
go.
you ruin some dude's engagement?
No, this is not an engagement. No. She's like, it's just the wealthy enjoy their finer things, and I enjoy the finer things. That's the simplest way to say it. And she's like trying not to say this under her breath, but also low key panicking.
You're trying to enjoy the wealthier lifestyle?
I just like jewelry. I don't have this type of luxury.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the very, very strong effort you went to go get this ring. And I appreciate you thought about me.
No, I'm no problem. She's gonna say as she sits up and like gestures her to go to bed.
Okay. And she'll replace Andre's spot where she was sleeping. And she'll set her bag down beside her hip and try to go back to sleep.
Okay. You managed to fall asleep. Andre, do you do anything while you're waiting?
She's kind of just journaling down her thoughts and everything that has happened. She's going to take a look out of the window to look outside, seeing what's going on, looking for anything suspicious, as she's just very aware of her surroundings.
As you look outside, nothing's happening. The sky hasn't changed colors, for there is no sky. The lights have some flicker on, some flicker off. It's an eternal city, always bustling, always not.
She's gonna let out a sigh as she clutches onto her necklace, the ruby inside of it, as she's holding it tightly, saying under her breath, like, just keep me protected and keep me safe.
Nothing
And
else happens for the rest of your thing, by the way. Keep going.
She just sits down and is very attentive.
Yeah, nothing else happens. At this point, it's morning, and you all start to slowly awaken.
How did you all sleep?
Kasaira will groggily get up and just utter, "I'm not a morning person."
I'm surprised for a warrior. I thought
Yeah,
most of the time they're very much attentive in the morning.
yeah, me too. And she'll rub her eyes. It's harder out here, I guess.
What about you, Alpheus?
I'm just gonna say, I need breakfast. I don't think bread is entirely a good diet.
Well, maybe we can find something to eat.
How did you guys even get all that bread?
Huh.
He's
What
a
was
cool
it?
giant guy.
What was
Made
the
a
guy who
bunch of
gave it
bread.
to the food
It
DM?
was a giant, I believe, wasn't it?
No, it
It was
was a
Goliath?
Goliath. They are
Oh,
descendants. They are said to be descendants of giants, and they are like massive beasts. They're like 8 to 10 feet tall. This guy was no different. Giant, huge muscles, wearing a tiny pink apron and making bread for regular people. So it's like really fucking small. And because a large amount of people down here are like kobolds and goblins, some of it's even smaller.
Oh my goodness. Was the bread that we took back was huge or no?
No, it was normal size. Like, you don't know how he did it. His hands are like the size of your guys' faces. Like,
Like, what about you, Aquin?
Aquin is still lying down, seeming a little exhausted.
You cut off, but I'm assuming you said exhausted.
Yeah, I did.
I look over. How does the other tiefling? Are they even awake?
nope, they aren't awake. They are still asleep.
Damn.
Aquin, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah?
And she's going to walk over and say this very like cautiously, like does this name, and she's gonna say the name of the ship, ring a bell?
Mm-hmm. Aquin,
Yes.
you've heard many stories while you've been on the high seas before. You've heard of the Kraken, the Leviathan, the Seekies, the Mermaid's Curse, the Black Spot. You heard of Blackbeard, of captains so great and with so much treasure that it's said that the bottom of the sea is glittering in gold. But there's one story which all fear above all else. The story of Davy Jones. And the story of his ship.
Are we playing with Captain Jack Sparrow?
No, for real. That's what I'm like. So I have the image of the one guy. What was his name? Who just yells, "I have a jar of dirt."
That's Jack
Captain
Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow.
Yes.
The
No, I'm talking
name,
about the actor.
the name of whose ship? The Flying Dutchman.
Dang.
And that is where we're going to leave it off for today. So, I hope everyone did enjoy. And we'll be back next week, hopefully with another person. Thank you, and bye-bye. Have a good rest of your night, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Peace.
See you next week.